of the alcohol, la 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 la. Just line 'em up and we will drink them all, la 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 la. But my mother always said, if you want to drink all day, you best start in the morning, son, 'cause that's the Irish way. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, and every other mother will agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, so order up around for you and me. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, and every mother best agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, so order up around for you and me, and you and me, and you and me. Let there be whiskey.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Nerds with Alcohol. I'm Chris,
I'm Russ.
and this is episode 428.
428, back in the virtual nerd basement. Thank you for joining us today on this relatively weird and mild Tuesday here in
Yeah,
Detroit.
you know, fucking weather's got to get back on its goddamn meds.
Yeah, right?
Because I'm feeling like shit. I've got
Dude.
like sinus issues, and I've been draining since I got home yesterday.
Yeah, I felt kind of garbagey over the weekend because it was kind of up and down, and it's been pretty weird.
It was 50 some degrees on Saturday.
It was almost 60.
in Wisconsin.
Yep, it was
And
almost 60 here in Detroit.
Or Friday. And then it went
Do
down
like
to
Friday,
the
yeah.
40s, and then people out playing golf today. Yeah, I bet, CD. And hey,
It's
CD.
fucking messed up.
But yeah, I was in Wisconsin this weekend for curling.
Did you bring
tournament.
back some cheese?
No, actually, I didn't bring back any cheese this time.
What the fuck, man?
Um,
All the way to Wisconsin, and you don't come back with any Wisconsin cheddar.
No.
God damn it!
no, I didn't have any. Nobody said they wanted any, so I
It's a foregone conclusion, Chris. You're supposed to come back with cheese.
I probably
mean,
should have.
Come on, can you back me up on this here, CD?
I did not get a Kringle CD, although I did stop at the Petro station twice. Once on the way in, once on the way out. That's where we stopped to pick up some supplies and stuff. I did pick up a few beers, not nearly as much as I usually do because the car was pretty full. We had 4 people in the Subaru, and with all of our bags and curling stuff, so it was a packed house. But had I did get some fermentorium stuff, CD, which I do like them. One of these days I'm actually going to leave the spiel long enough to go to the fermentorium, which is right there in Cedarburg. So I've passed it multiple times. But anyway, we did do well in the tournament. We won our first 2 games. Should have won our third one. I misplayed the last end, and if there's one end all weekend I could have back, that's the one I would want back, because then we would have been won our third game. And if we had won our fourth game, we would have actually wound up in the finals, the A finals. As it was, we won 1, lost, which put us in the fifth event. We then had to play another game to get to the finals. We won that one, and then went to the finals and played our absolute worst game of the weekend. All of us were exhausted. It was our second game of the day on Sunday. We played 1 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and then this was our second game on Sunday, after having to get up early Sunday morning. It was a great weekend. I had a great time. I did have a Wisconsin old fashioned for the first time. A brandy sweet old fashioned is what they said. It was pretty good. It was actually pretty good. I will say that. I hate to admit it, but it was. I don't remember if it was Corbel or not, CD. I know that I just found out that's what the normal one is. I actually found some bourbon or some brandy at the local supermarket and picked it up, and it was super cheap. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll give it a shot. I did not make one tonight because I don't have any soda or anything, and that's one of the things I found is that they actually top their old fashions off with like soda or something. So it was pretty good. They didn't measure a damn thing either. They just poured. Oh, Sprite. Yeah, I bet a little lemon lime. I don't know. If Sprite changes it though. Then it just becomes a different. It's no longer an old fashioned. Now it's just a. It's a. That's more of just a mixer thing in and of itself. I think that would change the flavor. I bet it would be good, but anyway. So yeah. Other than that, leaving the arena though, had a little bit of a scary moment. Came out of the arena, got everything packed up in the car. I put my coat in the back because I don't like wearing my heavy coat when I'm driving. Plus, I got heated seats and all that, so I can be comfortable.
Fancy and schmancy.
Yeah. So but I was heading back to the driver's side. Renee was sitting behind me because one of our teammates would get car sick, so Renee gave up the front seat to her. Plus, Renee said, "I'm the smallest of all of us. I fit behind Chris the best." So she was going to get in, and I turned around. I went to turn to kiss her, and my feet just went out from under me. Renee said it was like a cartoon. It's like all of a sudden your feet are 3 feet in the air.
Did she have a tough time keeping a straight face?
No, she actually tried to. She thought about trying to catch me.
Oh God!
Which would have just taken her down too.
Well, she is pretty strong.
Yeah, but still, I slipped. I didn't see the ice, is what it was. I didn't realize also that they don't salt their parking lot.
Oh no, they don't have the access to salt like we do.
No, they do. They choose not to.
They have salt mines like Detroit does.
Well, they don't have salt mines like us, but they do have salt.
Okay. Well, that's the thing. That's
you don't have to have salt mines to have salt, Russ. I mean, it's widely available. I mean, places like they can get salt at other places.
I understand that. The thing is, one of the reasons why Michigan salts so readily and so easily is because it is very easily.
No, trust me, they salt like crazy out there too.
Okay.
Hey, Ojipo.
Yeah.
I went down, and I landed on my forearm, elbow, hip, shoulder, and ankle.
Owie.
And my phone was in my hand at the time. It smacked the ground and went sliding underneath the car. It was a bunch of frozen snow that was had iced over. It melted a little bit and iced over, so it was jagged, and that's what I hit. And I showed this to Russ earlier, but this is what I wound up with. This is all this is all like a road rash. And then this is a deep cut. And then you can see the little cut there. And then that I had blood coming down this. I even caught my thumb and gouged it. Yeah, it wasn't fun, and it was a rough ride home. I've got a huge knot on the side and bruise on the side of my hip. Well, the bruise isn't all that impressive, but there is a knot there, and it hurts like a motherfucker.
There's nothing, dude. There's nothing like a long drive when you just hurt yourself.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then every time I lean on my elbow now, it still hurts. My thumb, that is exactly where you use to pick up everything when you're right-handed, which this is my right hand. So it's one of those things where I just keep hitting it, and I'm trying to just to deaden the nerves in there so that it gets used to it. It's getting better.
Yeah, I mean, do you remember when I think it was the last or second to last year I went down to Florida. I fell off of the roof of my car.
Yeah.
Stupidly. I was trying to, the back window on my hatch was fucked up, and
you're surfing down the street. Car surfing?
Huh?
Car surfing down the street?
No. It was basically the two, they got a hatchback, they got a window that opens on the hatchback, right? And the hatch has two hinges on the top.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the hinges had broken completely, and the other one was, I can't remember if it was broken completely.
Maybe Ojipo, we're getting old.
Yeah. Oh, for real.
Jeepo just said, "Do we need to wrap you two in bubble wrap?"
Dude, what I did was really immensely stupid. Because I'm just like my car was packed to leave for Florida, and to drive down to Tampa. And so anyway, the one of the only things that was keeping the window kind of in place were the two hydraulic, things that that are on those kind of open, windows, and then the latch. And stupidly or accidentally, I had unlatched, the latch, and it came free. And I'm like, fuck, I'm trying to get it, but it won't. It won't close. I'm slamming. I'm like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? So I opened the car door all the way, up, and I'm like, okay, maybe if I slam it from up on top. Well, I didn't realize that from another angle. I didn't realize, or I just wasn't thinking that the back hatch wouldn't hold my weight. And I went down and I fell forward. And I mean, I just fell, dude. I fell completely off the top of my car from like a standing position or kneeling position or whatever the fuck it was. And I fell down and I landed wrists down,
You're lucky you didn't
and
snap both your wrists.
I was incredibly lucky I didn't break my wrists. If I had broken, I mean, the trip would have been over. My one of my highest paying gigs at that time would have been gone. And but I was hurt. I was hurt bad. I was like on the ground on the cold concrete, just moaning and angry as all fuck because I was like, oh my God, I've just really dangerously hurt myself, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Thankfully, my buddy Jonesy had come by and he had to drop something off because I was taking something down there for him down in Florida, and he helped me get it closed. It found out that the latch had closed when it was open. It had closed and locked, so I was able to unlock it, and then we were able to get the window shut. I drove to CVS, bought two wrist braces, one for each wrist, and took a lot of fucking Tylenol and just started driving. And I was pretty sore for a good week and a half, maybe 2 weeks. I was damn lucky I didn't break both my fucking wrists. I couldn't lift anything heavy easily for like a couple of days. I had a tough time doing this. Like, it was bad. I mean, I'm very surprised I didn't really hurt myself.
Yeah,
Later I remember my neighbor saying, "Yeah, I heard somebody yelling and screaming outside, but I didn't know what's going." Thanks, Vicky. Appreciate that. Yeah.
I'm lucky I didn't break anything or dislocate anything because I jammed my shoulder too. So my shoulder's all sore, my neck up
You
into my
must have
neck.
really fell hard, man.
Oh, dude, like I said, my feet went out from under me, went like up to my waist, and my whole body went down. And I landed flat on my side. Did not hit my head though.
We're getting old, man. We gotta be careful.
It was hard, no joke. And then last night, after we got home on Sunday, Monday morning really, because we didn't get home till after midnight. Because that's the thing, playing in the finals, you play at 1:30, and that's 1:30 Central Time. You get off the ice at like 4:30. You sit around, have drinks. They do the award ceremony, and you don't leave. And we didn't leave until close to 6. Well, we went to leave at like 5:30, and then we were left closer to 6. After I got myself cleaned up, and then had to stop a lot more because I'm like, I need to stop and move around because this is hurting. The length of legs was his fall. Yeah, that's a pretty long fall. But yeah, damn, he tall. Yeah, Renee said she needed to stop too. We were all sore. 5 games is a lot in a weekend.
I bet.
I'm not nearly as sore as I used to be, like at the beginning of a curling season when I go to a spiel, but I am a little sore. Renee's back was an issue the whole weekend because she hurt her back like 2 days before the spiel. She hurt it last Tuesday. But yeah, then so we got home Sunday, Monday morning, and then slept in a bit, got up, did some stuff. I did a shit ton of laundry, and then uh went over to Polly's to play Magic last night.
How'd that go?
Good. Had a good time. Won one match. My vampire deck wins again.
Cool.
Which, considering it's not even a deck that I can take credit for building, it's just a precon deck. But it's such a good precon deck that I basically, the way I won was I was waiting, and I purposely kept enough mana out. And at one point, Stefan was getting really strong, and then the other guy I was playing against was getting kind of strong too. He had a bunch of dragons out. Stefan finally played his commander, which is a 12/12 dinosaur.
Ouch.
I then played a card on my turn. When it got to my turn, I was still alive, luckily. On my turn, I played a sorcery that let me take any creature with all creatures with power 4 or greater.
Huh. You could take it?
I could take them for the turn. Until the end of the turn, they were mine. Any creatures that were tapped, untap when I take them. That was enough creatures for me to kill both of my opponents with their own creatures.
Wow.
And one of mine. And win the game. It was the last game of the night, so. Or second to last game of the night. So, it was a good time.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Well, that's
How about
cool.
you? How was your week?
Just typical. Right now it's right now I'm, because I'm on my break from work, it's a lot of like
we're on a break,
chilling and relaxing, and I am a little bothered. I'm waiting on a paycheck from my last 2 nights of playing Krampus, which is it was
Krampus.
the 20th and the 22nd
Not
of
Krampus.
December.
It's Krampus.
Krampus. But apparently they mailed it. It's I think they mailed it like Thursday. It's Tuesday. It still hasn't gotten to me. Usually by now, they mailed it me from Lake Orion. I should have gotten it by now. So, I think the guy's gonna get it to me. And normally, there's not. Sometimes I'd be like, "I don't worry about it." It's like $250. That's not chump change. So, but yeah, the guy's gonna get it to me, and then we got a coming up on Thursday this week. We have a board meeting at work that I have to show up and look pretty for. That's basically what I do. I show up, I sit in the meeting, and there's it's not a whole lot of point. I don't present anything. We're just the CEO likes to have the entire team in the building and in the meeting. So it's kind of cool in that I do hear some of the inside baseball, but it's also like I could be like I could be elsewhere, but it'd be fine. I should be getting my bonus this week, which I am very pleased about, and we'll probably almost immediately purchase a brand new 3D printer. I think that's going to be my treat. I treat myself this year from my bonus.
This could have been an email.
Yeah, no, literally. It's funny too because like I show up, but some of the board members Zoom call in. It's like we'll have probably 12 to 18 board members because it's a pretty decent sized board of directors. But some of them are like, "Yep, sorry, got to do the Zoom call thing." So, but anyway, I got together last Tuesday and then also today with the art director and a couple other friends, Paulie Brady last week. I think I probably talked about it because it was the day of. And so we did it again today, although Paulie and John Donovan couldn't show today. So it was just me, Eric, and Chris Brown, who used to own and operate Comics and More here in it's in Madison Heights. And he's a real cool dude. Real cool, like, just nerdy dude that is like, I think he said he's turning 49 this year, so right around the same age and same kind of mindset as Eric and I. So it was pretty cool. We sat at the Cozy Lounge in Hazel Park here, which is just a kind of a corner bar that has one of the best burgers in town. A couple of them. They've got on their burger menu is strikingly good. And in fact, Paulie Brady was the one that brought me there initially the first time. And it's great burger. And so that was really cool. And like that, just kind of chilling, man. Watching some stuff, getting caught up, binging things, and so it's been nice.
Cool.
Hey, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking an old fashioned, just a regular bourbon old fashioned.
Good on you.
I didn't want anything too heavy. So I went with this because I figure the bourbon can help kick any of this crap that's going on in my body. So
Your sinuses and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I am not drinking tonight. I am just having a Pepsi mainly because I don't have anything new. So what?
CD, it's 2 parts. When I do my old fashioned, I don't do the orange and
I was
stuff.
just going to ask this question actually.
How do you make it?
Yeah, how do you make your
So
old fashioned?
when I do it, it's usually like 2 parts bourbon or rye whiskey. 1 part, well, a little bit more than 2 parts. I usually add a little bit extra because I don't want it too overly sweet. 1 part simple syrup, a couple of cherries with just a tiny bit of the cherry juice in there, and then stir it on ice, and then strain it into a glass with a big ice cube. That's really all there is to it. Oh, bitters. I like in the fall and winter, I like the toasted almond bitters. Been trying different kinds of bitters. I like the toasted almond bitters. And then the summer, actually, it was suggested to me by somebody at Total Wine to try it, and I actually really like it. Is doing cherry bitters. It actually brightens it up a lot. Makes it much more like a summertime kind of drink. I've tried orange. It was a little too much orange for me. I haven't tried vanilla. But yeah, the cherry's good. I tried cranberry. I didn't care for it around the holidays. It was a little too strong of the cranberry taste. And then I've got the regular, just plain old Agasorda Sotra bitters or whatever they are.
No.
But yeah, good stuff.
Looks like Jeepo watched Selling Superman. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's pretty great. It's really fantastic documentary. So I'm glad you enjoyed it. Well, Chris, it sounds like it's a lovely drink. I've actually had a couple of old fashions over the years, and I think I do. I like that cocktail.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's nice. I think the bitters and the various different flavors sometimes because it's bourbon, right? Yeah.
Well, it's traditionally it was made with rye.
Okay.
But you can get it with rye whiskey, bourbon, or if you're in Wisconsin, brandy.
Okay. It just sometimes bourbons can be really strong, a really strong flavor, and I think the mixing it with the bitters and various else tends to temper that flavor a little bit and complement it. So, which is the idea of any cocktail, really. You want all the flavors to complement each other. So
yeah, Renee's having a taller, which is it's a long drink like cocktail. It is made by New Holland Brewing.
Right.
Really good. A little bit more grapefruity, maybe a little more winey than long drink, but still very, very delicious. And Ojipo's got a warm Dr. Pepper with a hint of Muddy Buddy.
Probably Chex Mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being a horrible diabetic. Hello.
Well, hey.
And CD's got a barrel-aged mocha blackout stout, 11%, 4.75 out of 5. Imperial Stout, Great Lakes Brewing Company, smooth roasty chocolate flavor and not boozy for the 11%. Okay, cool.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, I've got a stout. Maybe next week. It's one I picked up out there. Mostly they got me with the name, but it's a sipper. Yeah, I bet.
Right on.
So yeah, I'll have. Maybe I'll drink that one next week. Or wait, I'm sorry. We're gonna be off next week because I will be in Grand Rapids.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
So we will not have a show next week. We will be back the following week though. We will have a game on Friday though. We
Yes,
we
we are
play
having a
this
game.
Friday.
Mm-hmm. So next week we're completely dark.
Yes.
So
Maybe I'll
we should
try
get
and
into
get
it.
something up on Friday or something.
What's that?
Maybe I'll try and get something going on Friday.
Yeah.
Unless I play Magic or something like that.
So well, yeah, we should get into it. Chris, you were saying winter needs to take their meds, and as of Thursday, it will, because we got a high of 39 tomorrow, but then Thursday, 19, high of 19. We have a jump up again.
And I get to drive to the office on Thursday.
We have a jump up in back up to the low 30s on Friday and the upper 20s on Saturday, but then we're in the teens for a lot of the teens, maybe as high as the high 20s for the rest of the month. So looking like January is going to go back to being fucking frigid. So
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I just want to not be sick anymore. I'm over it. I was already sick once this year. I don't normally get sick more than once, and this is the second time. And
I haven't been sick in a while, but yeah, I got lucky. Almost all my coworkers at the parade company got sick this season, and I didn't. So
we should probably just get it out of the way and talk about the
horrible
murder of Renee Good.
Yeah.
Say her name over and over and over again.
Yeah.
She was murdered by an ICE agent who is honestly just a thug with a gun. He obviously has not had police training.
So apparently, just so you know, I've been studying up on this a bit, and this guy has been, he's not one of those early recruits. Apparently, this dude has been a Border Patrol / ICE person for like 10 years.
His training officer needs to be fucking fired.
Yeah, for sure. The problem is what a lot of people are saying is now one of the policies of ICE and of the Border Patrol is, because one of the big mistakes, or one of the big cock ups that this guy did was officer created jeopardy.
Yes.
He put himself in front of the vehicle.
Stand in front of or behind a vehicle.
Now, what they were saying is, even more recently, there was a Supreme Court ruling saying that you cannot claim
threat,
justified, killing,
because you were threatened if you put yourself in the
in that position. And what they're saying is that
9-0 is what the court ruled on that one.
Right. One of the policies that ICE has been doing lately is they've been creating situations like that. They've been putting themselves in some level of jeopardy so that they can claim a certain level of defense when they shoot and kill somebody in that manner. So they're not saying necessarily it's exactly what they did, but that he did. But there was a study shown back in like 2014, back right around when this guy joined ICE, that had become standard practice, or one of the practices that they were doing. So I'm sure that this is going to be part of whatever prosecution or review of the case. The dude fucked up.
Yeah.
Hardcore. If you guys are looking, I put this on my Facebook page. If you guys are looking for a really good analyzation of because this has been less than a week. This happened on Wednesday of last week? Thursday?
Yeah.
I think it was Wednesday.
The 7th.
So yes, Wednesday of last week.
Yeah.
if you want to see really, really good analyzation of the video footage, they slow it down in places. You check the New York Times. The New York Times website has a video. Like I said, I linked it on. I put it up on one of the comments on the post that I made about this, um, on my Facebook page, and they do a great job breaking it down, showing how he fucked up and how what Donald Trump and Kristi Noem were saying was completely false. Um, and that's the other thing that has unbelievably pissed me off is this this mother of three who was, you know, not at fault. She hadn't weaponized her car. She was turning away the wheel. You could obviously the wheel was turned. The tires were turned to the point she wouldn't, even if she had gunned it, she wouldn't have run him over. It would have just turned. Um, he, the guy walked away. He wasn't hurt, and yet Donald Trump and Kristi Noem tried to gaslight everybody into making her into some sort of domestic terrorist. They called her a domestic terrorist. They called her unhinged.
Before there was any investigation.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Like she had even now. Some people are trying to defend Kristi Noem, saying that she had confused it with some other problem or attack or something that had happened to somebody else, some other um, ICE agent. I call bullshit.
Yeah, I do too.
Donald Trump and Kristi Noem are doing their damnedest to defend ICE at every opportunity in any situation. You do not have to exit your car just because an ICE agent tells you to.
ICE agents do not have the power to do traffic stops.
They cannot. The only time they can detain an American citizen is if they have ample evidence that you are harboring a fugitive. They cannot take you out of your car. They cannot. They are not normal police officers. It says police on their chest. A lot of them. I saw a picture earlier today of what ICE looked like 12 years ago. They wore windbreakers.
Mm-hmm.
They had badges and guns, but they were not. They didn't look.
They're militarized now.
Yeah, now they are militarized. Now they are a Gestapo for Donald Trump, and it is truly, his own private army.
Well, and then
something like 7,000 strong.
Yeah, and then at a press conference, Kristi Noem standing behind a podium that says "one of ours, all of yours."
Yes, yeah. This was another dog whistle for white nationalists. It's if I remember correctly, that phrase has been used in white national propaganda.
Probably it's been linked to Nazis, but there's no evidence that the Nazis actually used it. But they did. It goes back to where the Nazis basically an SS soldier was killed, and the Nazis then turned around and raised an entire killed everyone, men, women, children, in this Czech village. Yeah. And razed the village to the ground.
There was another thing they created some kind of recruitment video for their website, and they used a song that has been used apparently a lot for also white national like causes and stuff like that. Sometimes I mean I genuinely hope they're just oblivious and they're like, oh, that's a great song. This would be a good song for this, and they just don't do their due diligence and their research. But I don't think that's the case. I think they're just fucking morons. And
I agree.
What's been really frustrating too for me is seeing people on my Facebook page trying to defend this asshole and trying to say things like she deserved it. She should have gotten out of her car. What was she doing there? Why wasn't she at work? It's none of our goddamn business.
Yeah.
She has every right and reason if she wants to attend a uh, uh,
A
uh,
protest.
a protest. We don't know what her job was. I mean, she could work from home. She could have had the day off. Fuck you for saying that, you know? Um, and I loved how people were comparing it to Charlie Kirk. Oh, people celebrated when Charlie Kirk was dead. Okay, the people that celebrated that when Charlie Kirk was dead were also assholes.
Yep.
Even if they were on our side, they were there. That's insensitive. It's a human being that was shot and killed, but it was also a completely different situation. This was not. She was not
Political
a
activist.
revolutionary and um inflammatory
Yeah. She,
pundit who
TD
put
said she dropped her kid off just before.
yeah, exactly. She dropped her kid off earlier. She and her wife were. I mean, her wife sounded a lot more angry and aggressive than she ever did. I mean, we also don't know. We don't know what was said before the videos and stuff. I mean, but it apparently happened. A lot of it happened pretty quickly. Um, but Charlie Kirk turned himself into a target and was killed by an assassin because of the shit he said. She was just there, and some douchebag who was threatened by just some woman that threatened his masculinity probably. He shot her. And the wild thing is he has gone to ground. From what
Yeah.
I understand, he cleared out his house the next day, collected his household. He had his buddies in ICE help him, collected his household, and I believe he's in hiding. And somebody was like, "Well, he's been doxxed and he's been like, and all this other shit." And I'm like, uh, I mean, if he's afraid of reprisal from the left, from, some crazy, person or whatever, there's protective custody. He could easily turn himself in, go into protective custody. He needs to do that because guilty people run.
Yeah.
And if he truly feels that what he did was justified, then he needs to face the fucking music. He needs to be held accountable for the death of this woman.
Yep. And you're right, CD. You do see him in some of the video walking away with his mask on, just walking back like nothing's going on.
He did. Some people, and myself included, at first said he just pieced the fuck out right after he
Yeah.
shot her. No, he did go over to the car after it had crashed, after he'd called her a fucking bitch in his own video. He did go over there. I don't know if he checked her pulse or anything, but from what I understand, he did go over there, checked on her, and went, call 911. And then finally somebody called him 911. And then there was a physician that happened to be there that wanted
Yeah.
to check her, and they wouldn't let him do that either. And somebody was saying, oh, well, and they can't let somebody treat her. It's like, fuck you, they can't. When it's a life or death situation,
Good Samaritan
when
law.
seconds, right, when seconds count, and if that doctor could have done anything.
Anyone that knows that knows first aid and CPR can try and help someone.
This wasn't a broken arm or a laceration. This was a fucking bullet hole in the head. And yeah, he also shot her initially once, shot in the through the windshield, and then as the car turned, he shot twice more
from
in
the side.
90,
Yep,
90.
when he was no longer in a threatened area.
Yeah. So, fuck that guy.
I'm sure he did brag about it too, CD.
The fucked up thing is he has an immigrant wife.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. His wife is from the Philippines, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, our hearts go out to the family of Renee Good. We I am not a praying man, but I fear for the results of this and what this is going to happen, what is going to happen. We've already seen some results where it's almost like ICE has now stepped it up even more. They've pulled people over. There was video of them saying, "Didn't you learn anything from what happened a couple of days ago?" They are scaring people. They are doing their best to scare people. Um, Cities have risen up against it. The mayor of Minneapolis literally told them to get the fuck out of his town,
Mm-hmm.
and then was criticized for using a swear. Uh, yeah, CD, you're right. The Gestapo is here. Um, in New York, I think in Detroit, in various cities all over the country, the people are rising up and saying no more. And if any good is coming out of this, Renee Good, so to speak, Renee Good could be one of the straws that breaks this camel's back. Even Republicans and conservatives are waking up and
Yep.
and saying
And
this is not right.
remember,
It
people.
took the death of a white lady.
Yeah. Remember, 10 months from now, vote.
Yes. The midterm elections are going to be extremely important. I think it's also one of the reasons why Donald Trump has been doing his damnedest the last few days about, trying to show. I think it was he's calling for a moratorium on interest rates higher than 10% on tax
For a
or
year, yeah.
on credit card debt
Yep.
for a year. And then he's also saying he wants to try and get what was it? Oh, trying to discourage. He's saying that we need to discourage corporations from buying up properties because it is making it impossible for lower income people, younger people to buy homes in this country right now.
But yet it's okay to just invade another country,
Right.
kidnap their leader, and say, we run it
Yeah.
now. And post your own picture as the president of Venezuela on Wikipedia.
Acting president. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Somebody put that up on the Wikipedia, I believe. I think it was taken down.
And he reposted it.
Yeah,
he tweeted it out.
He tweeted it out. It is more and more evident every day that Donald Trump is unhinged and losing it. I've seen several
Dude,
tweets.
I saw a thing where he had to like this big meeting.
Yeah, and he got up and
he got up and like went and looked out the window.
Yeah. Oh,
This
was looking
this
at the
door to the
construction.
ballroom. Yeah, the door to the ballroom.
Yeah. He's lost
Okay,
it.
Grandpa, give us the keys.
Yeah. And the way we have been looking at these insane leaders that have been cropping up all over the world, like Putin and Kim Jong-il and whatnot, and the way other countries are looking at our leader now.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw another tweet or post
Dude,
or
he
something
keeps
that
threatening
somebody
fucking
shared.
Greenland.
Yeah.
Which
Now he
will
wants to
collapse
again.
NATO. It will destroy the United States.
Yes.
Because we will lose all economic ties to Europe.
Yep.
We will be exiled from all of Europe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw a post from somebody in Africa or in Australia actually, and was like, and the essentially the thing was, you guys need to get your shit together and get this guy, under control. And it's true. It is. He is unhinged, and it is.
He does fall asleep, CD.
Yeah.
He just rests his eyes once in a while. That's all he does. That's what he says. Rest your eyes with your mouth open.
He went after Venezuela because he is because of his ego and because of oil. And
what's funny is if you watch the video of him like on Air Force One where they're asking him about it,
with
someone else,
Lindsey
Graham, comes in and like says, well, he was a horrible man and he was oppressing his people and blah 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 blah. Tries to make it about all this, and Trump's like, and there's oil. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like
he said it like 5 times.
Graham was just like, but Graham got all giddy when he mentioned going after Cuba. Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yep. But we should move on. We
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't talk about this. We'll depress everyone. So there's a new wow, how fitting. There's a new Doomsday trailer that was released.
Yeah.
We are still getting one a week. This particular
No.
one is Wakandans and the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, it's more and more. I mean, each of them are teaser ones, so they're real
Yep.
small, real short, but it looks cool. And we're basically
We see
it's
Shuri the Black Panther. We see Namor. We see the Fantastic Four, or at least Ben.
we see Namor and other members of the Atlantean, like basically royal guard or royal family. I think we see probably Nemorita, or Namora, her mother, or I don't know. It could have been anybody. We see other members of the family. We see of the of T'Challa's family. But one of the things that I loved, and I've really been entertained by M'Baku as kind of a, he starts off as this aggressor against T'Challa, and then ends up becoming the king of Wakanda.
Yeah,
because you see him introduce himself as the king of Wakanda.
M'Baku. Yep, King M'Baku.
King M'Baku, and
I'm just glad they're not calling him Man-Ape.
oh yeah, it was really bad. It was one of the more bad like remnants of the era, when he was created, those kind of characters. But yeah, he introduces himself, and then who responds but Ben Grimm.
Hi, I'm Ben from
Grimm.
such Brooklyn.
From Yancey Street.
Yeah, Yancey Street, Brooklyn.
I still feel like, and Ben has always been depicted in cartoon form and stuff as having kind of a gravelly voice, and he's from New York, and he's the only one that talks like he's actually from New York, And I mean, even though Reed and Sue and Johnny all live there, I think they were more like from upstate New York or something. They weren't maybe necessarily from the city itself. But Ben is he's a Jew from
Brooklyn.
From Brooklyn.
Yeah. He's got the Brooklyn accent is what it is.
Yeah.
And
he should have.
The others are more, they're closer to Manhattan. Manhattan's a little bit more Midwest.
Cosmopolitan. There's a lot more Midwestern. When people, that's the thing. A lot of times
more
when
affluent,
move,
so it's
right. And when people move to New York and they really want to live in New York, they want to live in Manhattan. They don't want to, they don't want to commute from Queens or whatever. So, so a lot of them do. And so when people from other parts of the country and go there, and so Manhattan very much is very much a melting pot, but still, it's like, it's so kind of fucked up though. I just keep expecting to hear him at least talking kind of, hey, yeah, it's clobbering time. Not even though I do like this version of Ben a great deal. I think Eben is doing a great job portraying Ben Grimm. I just expect him. Every time I see him, I expect him to be sort of talking like this, Hey, Spider-Man, how you doing? And but he doesn't. So it's okay. He doesn't have to be the stereotype, but it's still. I just keep picturing it. But I think it's another thing that looks just like the Russo brothers. I think are going to knock this one out of the park. I think it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm really, really excited.
I am too. I'm really looking forward to it. So far, the little bits we've seen, it looks great. I'm waiting to see, like, I know we're going to get things with like Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and all of those, and I'm waiting for that.
Yeah. I read actually, speaking of Doctor Strange, I read recently that Doctor Strange, there is Doctor Strange 3 is in development, but has been backburnered in favor of the bigger group movies, like the development of Doctor Strange. I mean, the development of Doomsday and stuff, and
then
like
the
that.
X-Men after it.
Probably. Yeah. So my guess is we will see a Doctor Strange with Benedict Cumberbatch. Maybe he will be one of the ones that kind of survives the purge.
I have a feeling he's going to.
I think so too. And I would bet maybe it'll be the first movie we see after Secret War.
Post Secret Wars.
Yeah. Or it'll be real soon after it. Because the X-Men ones are going to be they're going to have to bust ass to really get those right. So I think they'll probably wait on those ones. But yeah, I think we're looking at a new, I don't like to say renaissance because we've been in the superhero movie renaissance for the last 20 years, but I think 25 years. I think what we are seeing is some pretty serious, like kind of a rebooting of a lot of these things, and I think it's gonna be great. I think we're seeing some great stuff. So, we also I saw this funny article. Apparently, where is it? Larian's so there's been a great deal of concern about AI coming into play with a lot of with some of these newer video games that are coming out that they were using AI. They've been using AI. Claire Obscure had to turn in basically two of their awards were rescinded because it was found out that they had used some generative AI in the game, even though it was just placeholders. It was textures for some objects that were just placeholders. It was sent out in the game. That was then soon after was patched out and whatnot. But it did go out in the initial game. So there's a great deal of concern. Larian Studios, that is making the new game Divinity, which is going to be, their next big game after Baldur's Gate 3. They've said that we won't be using generative AI. There's been some question, are you going to use some of it in the game? And they're like, nope, we're not. And it also said, Larian says Divinity won't have AI generated penises. I can guarantee that all the genitals in the game be manually crafted with love, because we did see in some pretty major video games in the last couple years that, you could define how your character's genitals looked, which you could in this game as well. In Baldur's Gate 3 and notably in Baldur's Gate 3 and in Cyberpunk 2077, you could have, you could create a transgendered person. So it should be interesting to see that. It says AI may very well be an existential threat to humanity, but at least we no longer have to worry about its most harrowing implication. Larian has confirmed Divinity won't have any AI-generated genitals. It was a silly tweet, but despite initially admitting to using generative AI to help develop concept art and placeholder text, Larian Sven Vinke recently backpedaled that and said in clear terms that we've decided to refrain from using Gen AI tools during concept art development. I think that's great. That you don't need it. There's plenty of artists out there that can help you, with your concept art and your gen and whatnot. You don't need AI to do that for you. So at least the peni and the vaginas will be
hand-drawn,
lovingly handcrafted,
molded, if you will.
Oh, yeah, molded. Yes, I am greatly, from what I've seen so far, what they've shown off so far for Divinity, it does look like it's going to be pretty spectacular. So, looking forward to it.
So, Jeepo said today would be Richard Mall's birthday.
Richard Mall's birthday?
Yeah.
Oh.
Bull.
Oh, from Night Court. Yeah.
Bull.
I've been Stella and I have been watching the old Night Court show.
Renee and I want to.
Yeah, we're on season 7, I believe.
The new one was pretty good.
Yeah, I saw a few of that's kind of what gave us the idea. I was like, wow, a new Night Court, and it's got, Melissa Roche from Big Bang. That's really cool, And so we watched it. We watched a couple episodes, and Stella was liking it, but she really wasn't kind of getting it. And I go, no, okay, you know what? Let me find the original series, and it's on Prime, free, whatever. And so we've been binging it, and she loves it. and I have loved it since I was a kid, and yeah, we're really enjoying it. It's been a fun kind of like I think we watched like 6 of them a couple nights ago, and at 22 minutes a piece,
Yeah.
that's really only, it's only 2 hours really, but it's great. Yeah,
Well,
Richard Mull passed away, I think like 2, 3 years ago. But in fact, there's only 2 left from the original cast, or from the not. And actually, if you really think about it, Mac was not part of the Mac or Roz were not part of the quote unquote original cast because they came on later seasons. I
did
think
they?
like
I
season
didn't. I
2 or
didn't
3.
realize Roz did.
Now, Roz came in. There were 2 other female bailiffs before her. They
Okay.
were the 2 old ladies. And then there's Selma, and then I can't remember the other lady's name. And then
But
and then there were several court clerks before Mac. I think Mac came in season 2.
there was John Larroquette's still around.
Yes. Oh, I
And
forgot Larroquette. Larroquette
yeah,
is still around.
yeah.
Larroquette, the woman who played Roz Russell, and I believe Mac is still around.
And Brent Spiner too.
Brett Spiner, true, but he was not. And
He
he
was a
actually
side
showed
character.
up. He showed up recently on. He had showed up, I think, in the
Yep.
last season.
He did.
Of
Yep.
the new one.
Yeah, Renee and I
think that-
have watched all of Night Court.
Did that go
I
2
think-
or 3 seasons?
3.
3? Okay, yeah. We're definitely going to catch that. We're going to rewatch those as soon as we can.
But speaking of shows, we got some new ones. The Rookie's back. Which is great. I love that show.
When did Rookie come back? This week?
Tuesday night.
Tonight?
No, last Tuesday night.
Oh,
So
last
tonight-
Tuesday. I didn't know.
Tonight,
Oh, shit.
Tonight will be the second one.
Cool.
So yeah, Rookie is back, and then we had The Pit start up last week too.
Yes.
I
I was
have
going to
not
talk
watched
about
it yet. We will not talk about it because
Okay. Well,
we were out of town all weekend. We didn't have a chance to watch it. We haven't watched either of those shows yet.
I will say it was a great start. And
yes,
and-
Jeepo, he was the voice of Two-Face on Batman. Richard Mullins.
Yeah.
He
Mhm.
was a big time voice actor actually for a while.
He did a lot of voice work, particularly. He was one of those after Night Court was kind of his big thing, but he did a lot of voice work after that. So, but The Pit. Speaking of The Pit, it was nominated at the Golden Globes. We're going to go over the Golden Globes quickly in a few, but it was nominated for Best Dramatic Series. I don't believe it took that, but Noah Wyle did win, I believe, for male actor in a dramatic series.
Cool.
And he deserved it.
Well, we'll get to those in just a minute because also coming out soon, we have A Night of the Seven Kingdoms starting up.
Yes.
We also have Starfleet Academy starting up.
Yeah, Starfleet Academy on the 15th, which is Thursday.
And I think Night of the Seven Kingdoms is like the 17th or 18th, something like that.
Coming up. It's going to be exciting. There's some really good stuff. Now, I'm seeing a lot of really positive stuff about Starfleet Academy. It's already been renewed for a second season.
I've seen mixed. I've seen a lot of positive, but I've also seen a lot of
it.
people saying that it's not very good. They're like, what the fuck is this?
I've heard a lot of good things from the critics. I mean, it's gotten a really positive Rotten Tomatoes score. It's doing well. But yes, the traditionalists, the traditional Star Trek fans, some of them have what they've seen so far. They're afraid we're going to see, Gossip Girl Star Trek or One Tree Hill Star Trek or 90210 Star Trek, depending on how far back you want to go. That it's going to be, we are focusing on Starfleet Academy. They're all going to be young people. They're going to be, this is going to be a very important part of the show.
And
these
CD posted though, I see the picture on Paramount of them laying down, and I cringed so hard. That one that it looked like Vampire Diaries in space, or something like that, or One Tree Hill in space.
Yes, that is one of the concerns that people are having now. I'm not going to make any judgment just on the shit like that. I think they are doing what they can to try and appeal to a younger audience, which is kind of important. I mean, the Star Trek audience is aging, and we had they had a really good start with Strange New Worlds. Strange New Worlds did a great job of really, really pleasing the old school fans. Even the people that were like not completely on board were still like, well, it's pretty cool. Um, there were a lot of people that were really, really pleased about it, really enjoyed it. So I'm not surprised that they're doing this kind of thing where they're trying to appeal to that younger audience of a lot of pretty people, a lot of although we have seen people have also said, hey, we've got people of all different body types in here. Um, we've got a captain that needs to use glasses, you know. Uh, I think one of her officers that she's sitting
They
next
should
to.
be able to just go zit zit. Your vision's fine.
Sure.
I mean, they're 900 goddamn years in the future.
Yeah, well,
from
the
other
fact
Star
that
Trek.
she is also like 700-800 years old. Like she's half Lanthanite, I guess, the captain.
Oh,
So
okay, great.
Yeah, she's like an old person, or has been around for a long time.
Okay.
So
yeah, we just need to keep playing that trope.
So I don't know if that was going to be part of it. I mean, then there's also just the idea that that people kind of accept their frailties or whatever. Now, personally, I'm like, hey, if you don't got to wear glasses, why bother? You know,
why would you?
That's something people would have fixed. But I don't know. Maybe Holly, is it Holly Hunter? Yeah, Holly Hunter. Maybe she just doesn't want to wear fucking contacts. She wants to have her glasses. Whatever. That's fine. Fuck it. I don't care. I think it's a good. I still think I have some from what I've seen so far. I have a pretty good feeling about this. They also talked about like why is the doctor? How are they going to explain off the doctor being older, looking older? Real simple. He introduced a subroutine into his program that allowed him to age.
Yeah,
And I think
that's horrible that he's coming back.
I think it's stunt casting ish, but I'm like, I don't mind it. I think it creates a connection to a beloved show. He was a popular character on Voyager. He has a great deal of potential for comedy because he was also a very funny performer. I've met the guy. He's a good guy. He was I met him before he was even on Star Trek. Back when I was in high school, and a decent guy. Seemed like a nice guy. And I think it couldn't hurt to have that, to continue to have, try and bridge a connection and bridge the new fans with the old fans. And I think that's what this is going to do. We'll see. I'm still very hopeful, and
I'm getting less and less the more I see of it. Mm-hmm. At first, I was really excited about it. Well, at first, I was kind of meh on it because it's an offshoot of Discovery, and they're that whole. I was never a fan of Discovery in the past or in the future,
right.
And then hearing that like Tilly's really not on the show that much, when they had made it out that she was going to be.
That was, I think, the original plan, and then the writers decided to go in a different direction.
And just some of the stuff that they're doing now, hearing about the whole, like Captain being, 800 years old, so been back since like almost the time of Discovery, is just ridiculous. I'm less and less.
I'm curious to know why they went that direction too.
Yeah, I don't know.
But again, I'm willing to give it. I'm not willing to poo-poo a show that's one of my favorite IPs just because of some of the imagery we've seen from some of the trailers and shit so far.
I'm willing to be skeptical because 50%, well, a little less than 50%, I guess a third, so 33% of the last several shows from that IP have been shit, in my opinion. There were some good characters on Discovery, but I did not like the direction they took. I think Micah was a horrible lead character.
Michael.
Yeah. I love Saru. Saru was great.
Saru was great.
Tilly was great. The whole
Mhm.
rest of the bridge crew was great.
Yeah.
Michael sucked. She wasn't a good actress, and she
I disagree with that. I think she was a solid actress, but I will agree that she was not as likable
wasn't
as the
likable
rest
at
of
all, and
them.
she never should have been there in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
The whole idea of, oh, we're just going to forgive and forget your mutiny thing, that just
Well,
Tignataro was amazing.
Tignataro was a great addition. Did you end up watching the entire series, or did you?
Yes.
Did you?
No,
you did?
I watched the entire series.
Okay. You had to muscle your way through it.
Yep, I did. I had to.
I agree with you in some cases, and at some point, I do think she was not the best idea. I think the idea of having a character be the lead of the show that's not the captain, that's not,
I'd be fine with that.
I was
But
fine, and having a black woman be.
I didn't like her backstory. I didn't like the way they wrote her.
Okay, yeah, I think
because she wasn't a likable character.
Right. No, I agree. I agree that she was not the best.
Renee says she cries way too much.
She cries way too much. Tignataro was probably one, and Tignataro's going to be a regular on Academy. I think she is going to be one of the standout characters. I think she and the Doctor both. And
yeah, I'm so happy I gave up on that tardigrade torture show. They did. They were torturing tardigrades.
You know, the funny thing is they named the character of Stamets. They named him after the real guy that is actually the world's renowned expert on fungus, basically on mushrooms.
I love Stamets. I loved forget his husband's name, the Doctor.
The Doctor. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I loved him. Thought he was great.
Yeah. Again, Saru was one of the standout characters personally.
Saru was amazing.
It was really great. I thought I loved some of his. I loved everything about Saru. Honestly, I loved his storyline. I loved his subplots and stuff. I thought that was really great. You know, it gave Doug Jones a real opportunity to really act, to really beyond just his body. You know, it was great. So I think Discovery, I still enjoyed Discovery, but it was a bit of a disappointment on some levels. I thought that the final season.
Sorry.
What?
Jeepo just said apparently the last surviving person from Auschwitz, Eva Schloss, passed away on the 3rd.
Oh wow.
Means she was old, but still.
Yeah. That meant she was one of the kids.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's a shame.
Wow.
So sorry. Go ahead.
Anyway, I think although the last season was interesting because they kind of tied it in to, you know, one of the cooler episodes in the later episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation, where Picard had figured out and found out that there was a progenitor race that seeded the galaxy. I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the race to the progenitor's prize, I thought wasn't.
Mm-hmm. It was a race kind of thing. And how do you lose a race when your ship can essentially teleport around the galaxy?
Exactly.
You know, because that's what that ship does. It teleports. It doesn't. Yep. I mean, yes, it has a warp drive, but the mycelial drive, it teleports great distances. So I don't know. That was one of the things that bugged me. There were definitely mistakes. There were definitely problems with the show, but I think overall we still had Star Trek, and I think. I'm sorry, you know, some Star Trek is better than no Star Trek, in my opinion.
I disagree.
And I know
it's only worth it if it's good Star Trek.
Now, Do you feel the same way about Star Wars?
Yes. I would
Okay.
rather have no Star Wars than those last 3 fucking movies.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we know your opinion of the movies, but like we have Andor and we had Mandalorian
Right.
and we
And
also
those are
had Book of
great,
Boba
but they have
Fett.
nothing to do with those 3 movies.
Sure. Sure.
Andor is
So,
before episode 4. So
yeah. And from what I understand, that's also I think one of the reasons why they're
I'm even
making this
okay with the first 3, the prequels. Now, I
now.
have made my peace with the
You're
prequels.
made
I don't
peace with
think I
those?
will ever make peace with the sequels.
I don't know. I still stand by that the first one was entertaining.
Nope.
The first one was for me.
It
was good.
wasn't an homage, it was a remake. And I didn't, it was too close to New Hope.
Well, we've hashed that out a lot.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think one of the reasons why they decided to go with this direction with the Academy is because there's not there's some connection to what's come before, but it's not reliant on it. If they were to have and I still think that they're missing the boat on this one, is they needed to just continue on with what they had set up with Picard in the final season of Picard and have, Captain Seven of Nine captaining the Enterprise with this next generation. And I mean it's perfect, but they've decided they are still, I don't know if they're being cagey or they don't want to take the chance or whatever. It just sounds really, really like bad idea. This is one of those things where you've got,
said, I concur, more Jerry Ryan.
exactly. I mean, she was excellent. The last season of Picard, although it was very nostalgic and whatnot.
So the first season I thought was great. The second season I thought was meh. The
Meh.
third season I thought was really good.
Yeah.
And yes, it was all what do they call it? It was all it was all nostalgia. It was all what you call it? Berries. I'm blanking on the fucking term. Anyway, it was all nostalgia. It was all for the fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Member berries. That's it. Thanks, CD. I couldn't fucking think of it.
Member berries?
Yeah. When it's all about nostalgia, it's all member berries. Mm-hmm. It's all
sure.
for the fans.
Yeah, and it really was. I mean, yes, people that weren't super as invested in Star Trek did enjoy it, but it was very, very rooted in nostalgia. Fuck it, I didn't care. It was fantastic. It was so much fun, and they very much looked like they were setting it up for a sequel, and then for a sequel series, for another series, with putting Jerry Ryan and putting Seven of Nine in the captain's chair, a newish ship that was been retrofitted to be the new Enterprise, introducing Captain Picard's son. We had introduced Geordie LaForge's daughters.
Not just Picard's son.
Picard and Beverly's son.
Yes.
So we had all of these great things, and then they're like, maybe we'll revisit that. Yeah, let's go. Fuck, let's just do something else. Yeah. They're like, dudes. And I think this is truly, I would bet you any money that the producers went to Paramount. We're like, here you are. We have, here's a layup here. We have set this up for you. This is bowling with the bumpers.
Slam dunk.
Yeah.
On a little Tyke's net.
Yeah. This is perfect. This was money in the bank. And some asshole at Paramount went, nah. And they're like, all right, well, what about this Star Trek Academy? We can kind of tweak it for a younger audience. Maybe, bring in the One Tree Hill audience. Perfect. Let's do that. What the fuck? Because these people at the producer, the studio levels, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They've had a few successes. They figure out a few things that are successful. And then they're like, they don't know fuck all about fuck all when it comes to genre television. And that's, we've seen it a dozen times, hundreds of times, probably. So, We should move on.
One of the things I just wanted to bring up. So,
Yeah.
you reminded me of it. So I've been watching some of the Daily Show, the last couple weeks of Daily Show, specifically the Jon Stewart ones. Those are the only ones I really care about. I want to see Jon
Those
Stewart.
are great, but don't sleep on the other ones too. That whole cast.
I'm sure they are,
incredible.
and I've got it on my list now for Hulu, so I can go in and watch them. But I was watching the last couple of ones for Jon Stewart from last week and this week, and it was he was talking about how this was in last week's with the whole thing with Venezuela invading Venezuela, and he's like, he was comparing it to how they're setting this up just like they did all the shit with Iraq back in the early 2000s, and like what kind of well, why are we going in? It's terrorist groups. He's like, terrorist groups or terrorist networks. That's what it's. Terrorist networks. He goes, those are the worst kinds of networks, even including Paramount Plus.
Yeah. The other night on the Golden Globes, Nikki,
So CD, I'm not a fan of Grogu. I love the Mandalorian, but I am not actually a fan of Grogu. I think that was I think that was a wrong choice too, to bring in one of Yoda's race like that when there's been no mention of him anywhere else in canon. So anyway, you're saying though.
The host of the Golden Globes this year was a comedian, Nikki Glazer, and she actually called out Paramount for CBS specifically because of them, like the most edited news we've ever had, because they canceled that big article or that big story on 60 Minutes that showed the White House in a really poor light.
They're becoming the new Fox.
Yeah. And she actually called them out in her opening monologue.
State-run news TV.
Yeah. I've been meaning, one of the reasons why I want to watch it is because I watched the first hour that I missed was because of her opening monologue. Although some of the criticism from the Hollywood Reporter says that her political jokes weren't funny. Well,
and so
sometimes
I heard one of the things that was a lot of people are unhappy about with the Golden Globes was that no one really stood up and said anything about what's going on in the world right now.
Right. Yeah. Mark Ruffalo wore a pin that said "Be good," and Wanda Sykes also wore a pin, kind of like "Be good" as in, Renee Good. So yeah. Well, let's speaking of the Golden Globes. I know it's pushing 9:30, and I know you weren't feeling.
Please don't do costumes or soundtrack.
Oh no, we're gonna blaze through those real quick. Any of that shit, because the Golden Globes
you tend to go long on these sometimes. You'll go through every single
I know, but
award.
We only do it a couple times a year. Indulge my.
All right, you guys are all on your own. I'm out. It's the Russ show from here on out. He's just going to read off all of the awards for best script written by a kid out of high school who did.
Oh my god.
Best gaffer. There you go, CD.
Best gaffer. best boy.
Yeah, best boy.
So anyway, the Hamnet won for best motion picture drama. It was up some pretty good competition. Now the Golden Globes is one of the few awards too that does kind of divide theirs a little bit, because they have best drama and then they have best comedy / musical,
and they serve alcohol.
They do. It's more of a party than it is, because they're all sitting at tables drinking and whatever.
The year Harrison Ford got up drunk was still a classic. Just
so good. So yeah, Hamnet won. Up against Frankenstein, it was Just an Accident, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and The Secret Agent. Frankenstein's actually the only one of these that I've seen.
I want to see Sinners.
Yeah, I do, and I also own Sinners, and I've heard it is.
It's
amazing.
on HBO. I'll just watch it there.
But it's a vampire. A friend of mine described it. It's not a vampire movie. It's a movie about vampirism.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. And it's because it's really used more as a metaphor. So that's pretty cool. But I've heard so many good things, and I do have I'm big fans of vampire movies anyway. So, but so yeah, Hamnet won. Best motion picture musical comedy was One Battle After Another, which is the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio. Now, the interesting thing is this was for comedy. I've been
Which
this
one
is a
is
Paul
it?
Thomas, huh?
What was it? I'm sorry.
This is
The
One Battle
One
After
Battle After
Another.
Another. That's on my
And it's
that's high on my list to
right.
watch. It's on HBO now.
Now, people are saying it's really good, but it doesn't strike me as a comedy, you know? It doesn't
Well,
look like
comedy
comedy.
is anything they don't know where else to put it.
Exactly. And that's one of the one of the major problems I do have is when they shoehorn a movie that might have comedic elements into the comedy musical category. And now One Battle After Another is saying it's a really good movie. And I'm not a big, huge fan of Leo, so I tend to backburner Leo movies, but I've heard really great
This
things
is
about
middle-aged Leo, though.
everybody.
This is dad
True.
bod
Yeah.
Leo.
And but it went up against Blue Moon, Begonia, Marty Supreme, No Other Choice, and Nouvelle Vague. So, I've heard Begonia is a very dark comedy. I haven't, and Marty Supreme I heard is really really great. It's Timothy Chalamet's new movie. He did very well at the awards as well. So, but yeah, One Battle After Another. Best motion picture animated, K-pop Demon Hunters. I guess another reason why I need to see this movie. It went up against Zootopia 2, Little Amelie, Elio, Demon Hunter, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, and Arco. Now, the only one I've actually heard of outside of Zootopia 2 was Elio, which did not do well at the box office. It kind of tanked, but it got really great critical review. So that's another Pixar film. But I am looking forward to Zootopia 2. I have Zootopia 1.
I haven't seen Zootopia.
Oh man, Zootopia is so good, dude. It really was great. Like I said, I purchased it. So and I guess I'm just gonna have to sit down and watch K-pop Demon Hunters.
CD
Best
said
motion
Demon Hunters
picture.
will beat a funk any day.
What's that?
CD said Demon Hunters will beat a funk any day.
Well, that's cool. The non-English language one was The Secret Agent.
We could have skipped that one. I don't care.
Well,
about
that's
that
why I
one.
didn't go through all the other parts.
I'm in America here, man. We speak English here.
Best performance by female actor, Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. And some of these awards, it was like, wow, it's anybody's ball game here because there were so many really great actors and actresses in these awards. I mean, Jessie Buckley was up against Julia Roberts and Jennifer Lawrence, so I mean, it was pretty stacked. Best performance by male actor in a motion picture drama was Wagner Moura won for The Secret Agent. So it's pretty rare that an actor wins in these categories for non-English speaking roles. So that was pretty crazy. Dwayne Johnson, I think this was his first Golden Globe nomination for The Smashing Machine. I've heard that's really good. Jeremy Allen White for Springsteen, Joel Edgerton for Train Dreams, Michael B. Jordan for Sinners, Oscar Isaac for Frankenstein. Let's see. Best performance by female actor in a motion picture musical comedy, Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Another one that I've heard was really, really great. And a little odd. It's more of a kind of a dark comedy, but it's a lot about being a parent, apparently, and apparently being a parent to a child that's chronically ill and having a lot of the issues and stuff. I've heard it's pretty good. Best performance by a male actor in a motion picture musical comedy was, of course, Timothy Chalamet for Marty Supreme up against Leo and George Clooney and Ethan Hawke. So, again, best performance by a female actor in a supporting role was Teyana Taylor for One Battle After Another. Interestingly enough, Leo didn't take anything for that movie. He was the other aspects of that movie were praised beyond Leo. Ariana Grande, Amy Madigan, Elle Fanning, Emily Blunt. Again, these really sometimes you can like look at some of these awards and go, "Oh, this is definitely who's going to win. We know who's going to win. This one is who's going to win." A lot of these it was like no idea. Best performance by male actor in a supporting role in motion picture, Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. Um, I mean, Adam Sandler was in this. Benicio del Toro. There was a lot of, again, Sean Penn, a really, really stacked thing. Best director, Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another. People go on and on about Paul Thomas Anderson, and he has a very interesting and distinct style. He's definitely, when you watch one of his movies, you're like, oh, that's definitely a Paul Thomas Anderson movie.
Speaking of that, Sam Raimi's got a new movie coming out.
He does. I would have liked to see Ryan Coogler win or Guillermo del Toro win for Frankenstein or Sinners, but um, you know, Guillermo at least has won before. So, best screenplay was Thomas Anderson again for One Battle After Another. And a lot of the movies, got, of course, nominated multiple times for multiple things. That's the thing about these movies, I mean, if it's going for best movie, it's probably going to get best screenplay too at some point. Best original score was Sinners for Ludwig Göransson. Cool. The soundtrack for Sinners is really, really cool. It's a lot of old jazz and stuff from that era. Best original song was Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters. Two different songs from Wicked were nominated. Best cinematic and box office achievement. Now this is that award they put in, I think, last year for the first time for basically let's praise a movie that just did well, and at least at the box office and everything. Avatar: Fire and Ash, F1, K-pop, Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning, Sinners, Weapons, Wicked for Good, and Zootopia 2 were all nominated. Sinners actually won this one, so there's good at least. Now we're getting into TV. Best television series drama was The Pit, and I couldn't be happier. It's a fantastic show. I'm going to finish up. Stella and I have to watch the last episode of the first season, and probably tonight we'll watch it because we just binged like 4 or 5 episodes the other night. She had never watched it. I think she'd maybe caught 1 or 2 episodes when I was watching it initially. And I finally was like, you got to watch this. And so she was like, she really got into it. So it's good. Television best TV series musical comedy was The Studio. Again, up against some really tough stuff like Only Murders in the Building, Nobody Wants This, Hacks, The Bear.
Only Murders is so good.
Yeah. Oh man, it's another one on my list. But The Studio, people are saying really good things. It's on Apple Plus. Also, best television limited series, anthology series, or motion picture made for television was Adolescence. They kind of swept their awards in this category. Black Mirror was in this one as well, which I'm really excited I need to get back into. Let's see. Best performance by female actor in a series drama was Rhea Seehorn for Pluribus. She was up against like Helen Mirren and Kathy Bates, and I mean that was and Bella Ramsey, so that's pretty good. Best performance by male actor in a television series, Noah Wyle for The Pit. Up against Gary Oldman, Mark Ruffalo, Diego Luna for Andor. I mean, damn, right? That's pretty great. Jean Smart won for female in a television series. Jenna Ortega was nominated for that, as was Kristen Bell, Natasha Lyonne, Selena Gomez. A lot of younger actors and actresses in this one. In fact, yeah, it looks like Jean Smart was the eldest of the group for Hacks. Best performance by male actor in limited series, blah, 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 was female actor in limited series was Michelle Williams for Dying for Sex. Male actor in television series, musical, or comedy, Seth Rogen for The Studio, up against Martin Short and Steve Martin. I mean, damn. Like I said, these lists were really incredible. Supporting role, best performance female actor supporting role on TV was Erin Doherty for Adolescence. Last part of the thing here, male actor in a limited series was Stephen Graham for Adolescence as well. I mean, again, just really great. Owen Cooper won for performance of a male actor in supporting role for Adolescence. He was the youngest one to win that award. And the best performance in stand-up comedy and television, Ricky Gervais, Mortality, which was really the Wanda Sykes accepted that award, and she goes, if he wins, he's going to accept the award for Jesus because he wasn't there, and so she would have had to accept the award for him. I think last but surely not least, they added a new award this year, Best Podcast. And the
Did we
best
win?
No, unfortunately we didn't. The best podcast was Good Hang with Amy Poehler. It's Amy Poehler's podcast. Now the thing about this, we want to talk about this briefly. All of these podcasts were entertainment-based podcasts, entertainment industry podcasts. You had Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard. It's a good podcast. It's a good interview podcast. Call Her Daddy with Alex Cooper. Good Hang with Amy Poehler, which was the winner. Smartless, which is the Jason Bateman, Sean Hayes, and Will Arnett podcast that they do. The Mel Robbins podcast, and Up First from NPR. So NPR is probably the only one of the group that is maybe stretches outside of the entertainment industry. I think maybe Mel Robbins does a little bit too. But I got to admit, no, it was got to be hard to try to narrow down the best podcast of the year down to 6 out of the thousands of podcasts that are out there. But I'm like, and I did appreciate that the Golden Globes is recognizing excellence in podcasting. But it was a little like, I mean, I don't know. Could there have been one that was a little more music oriented, or could we have had one that was maybe sports oriented? I mean, I'm not even a sports guy, and I'm like, but it did seem like there were a lot of these were very entertainment industry podcasts. Where is Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum? He's one of the older ones. He's been around for a couple of years now. If you're going to honor podcasting, where's Smodcast? Where's Kevin Smith and his podcast? You know, I mean, he's kind of the granddaddy of podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
So, granted, a lot of times Kevin Smith's podcast was, at least for a long time, was just him and his buddies getting high and bullshitting. So there were times when it was downright.
How is that different than us sitting around drinking and bullshitting?
Well, I think there were times when
let's face it, Kevin Smith was the one of the
inspirations for us.
Yeah, the inspiration for this podcast.
No, he was very much so. But have you listened to some of the earlier ones when he was smoking weed a lot?
Yeah. Between that and like Fat Man on Batman.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I mean, he does a slew of them too. Yeah. So yeah. He has
That's the other thing. The man doesn't shut up.
No. And a lot of the times it's really good, but there were some eras when I was listening to it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, can we get to the point here, dudes? Because they're just getting high and they're losing track. Yeah, they're having a conversation, but they're not really going anywhere with it, you know? So there was definitely times when I was just like, God's teeth, you know? So, it was a solid podcast, but there were times when it was just like, Jesus Christ, guys. Again, we have to credit Kevin Smith with being one of the guys that created the art form, because he did. So, but anyway, that was the Golden Globes. See, Chris, it wasn't that painful. It was like 12 minutes. But like I said, there were some really, really great lists of people here.
I will say you kept it short. I
told you.
That was impressive.
You
can do it.
You know what? I got a little something right here for you. Right? See that? There you go. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know how this worked.
Oh, I didn't know how this worked.
Let me put that down. Yeah. But anyways, it was entertaining. I would like to go back and watch the first hour because I did miss a lot of the TV stuff, and I do like the Golden Globes because it is a little more a little interesting. It's to me it's less stuffy than the Oscars, and
it is much more so.
And from what I understand too is they say that the Golden Globes is not a good primer for the Oscars because different groups of people vote for them. The Golden Globes were voted on by the international press or something like that, whereas the Academy of Motion Picture and Sciences, they vote for the Oscars, and it's a whole
Yeah.
different group.
Yeah.
The Critics' Choice Awards are a good primer for the Golden Globes because there are voters in both of those categories. But anyway, hell, the People's Choice Awards are where it really matters because that's the people. That's
Yes.
us. So,
Votes matter, people.
yeah. So vote with your dollars too. I don't know. I think that's about it for me. Really, I didn't really have a ton.
I don't really have much else. I'm fading. So
Yeah. I did see
my
here a
cough's
little
coming
something.
back.
I did see something a little bit. Big in 26 TT Games explains how Batman has aged like a fine wine, and because they're talking about this new Lego Batman game that's coming up real soon. Well, not real soon, but it's May, and it looks pretty fantastic. It's going to be fun and funny, but it's also going to have elements of every iteration of Batman that we've seen so far. The video games, the shows, the movies, the cartoons. We're going to see. Uh, you're going to basically be able to go through all of the elements, all the moments in Batman that Batman has been through. I think they're going to touch on the old TV show from the 60s. We're going to see stuff from the various cartoons. I'm really looking forward to this. I love the Lego games. I have a lot of them. I think I have most of them actually. And they're just a righteous blast. I love them. So they're great. I've been meaning to go back and play the Skywalker saga again because I never finished it. But in the Lego game, and it's just they're just a blast. So guys, coming up later. I think it's May something. Let me see if it says. I know there is an actual release date for this game. They have said it, but it's not in this article right away that I can check. But I am very much looking forward to this new Lego game. But yeah, other than that, that was about it, really. I think we talked about
There's an article on Nerdist that I want to read.
Yeah.
Maybe we can talk about it later. But it came out yesterday because it was the anniversary of it was the fifth or what would that be? 60-year anniversary of the Batman TV show.
60-year anniversary?
Yep. Premiered January 12th, 1966.
Wow.
And it's the title of the article is How the 60s TV Show Actually Saved Batman.
Yeah, it did. Actually, because May 29th is when the new game comes out. Yeah, actually,
and it premiered January 12th, 1966.
The Batman comic was floundering a bit at the time, and they didn't know exactly a good direction for it. So when they produced the TV show, and it was a massive, massive success, it was at the time it was the highest rated television show on for a while there. That's why so many celebrities were going on and playing villains. Some very well known.
It only lasted 2 years though.
3.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it was canceled in 68, but
it was 3 seasons. 66,
Yeah,
67, 68. It was it was expensive. It was expensive to produce.
Well, yeah, you had all those graphics come up, the pow and the bam, and
at the time it was expensive, and it was I think the studio was just kind of like, yeah, we're done, but it was extremely popular, and I think it wasn't canceled because of ratings. It was just one of those like, yeah, we're done making this show. And but it did so well, it improved interest. It brought greater interest to the comics. And the problem was the comics ended up following suit with the show for a while, and it became kind of goofy and campy. But then soon after that, we had Neil Adams get in and start making Batman serious again. It's like almost as soon as the pretty much almost as soon as the show ended, we saw a dramatic turn into Batman becoming a serious
Well,
character.
we can talk about this next week after I've read the article and stuff.
Sure, yeah. I'd love to
We can
hear.
discuss that.
I'd love to hear. And I mean, and if I'm wrong, because I'm pretty sure that that is correct. But
If I'm wrong, and I'm rarely ever wrong.
I'm really ever wrong when it comes to this shit. It does, but yeah. You know what? Where did you find that article?
It's on Nerdist. I'll post the article on the
Yeah,
Discord.
put it in the group. I'd like to check it out myself. But yeah, that show definitely helped.
It doesn't look like it's a very long article. It's just well, it's a little long, I guess. Not too bad.
Well,
probably about a 5-minute read.
I can
At my slow ass reading.
I'm sure it will be fine. So, all right. Well, guys, thanks for joining us tonight on this oh so weirdly warm day here in Detroit. We've got we do have our D&D game coming up this Friday. We have a pirate ship or a smuggler's ship to continue explore, even though we are beat the fuck up. Hopefully we can make it. We will not be on next week at this time. Chris will be out of town in Grand Rapids again. Is that what you said?
Grand Rapids, yep.
So yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, and I'll be back Wednesday.
Yep. But yeah, keep visiting us, keep coming to see us. We are generally here every Tuesday night at 8:00 here on Drinking Nerds. Be sure to chime in. Good night, Cheapo. Be sure to chime in on the various websites. Give us your opinions. Let us know what you think, and give us some suggestions if you got something you want to hear us talk about.
Yeah, and remember, you can follow us on most social medias. We're on Facebook, Nerds with Alcohol Show, and pretty much everywhere else, Drinking Nerds. You can subscribe to the show here on Twitch. If you do, you get access to our Discord channel. These shows go up on YouTube and on all the podcast sources a couple days after the show is done, after we do the show here. You can always catch us here, well, most weeks. Next week being an exception. But at 8:00 on Tuesdays, every other Friday, we'll do our D&D game at 7:30. But yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to having everyone at the table again. It was really fun last week having everybody back. Yeah, good times.
Good times. Cool.
So, right. I think that's gonna about do it.
That should do it.
On that note. Until next time. Slainte. Oh, that was kind of shitty, but all right. Have a good week, everybody.
Good night.